The male manipulator is a term that evolved from the phrase male manipulator music. Most of that music was like soft rock, indie rock, all that stuff like that. But the male manipulator exists far beyond music. They are in the movie Challengers.
Let me hear it.
Patrick Zwig and Art Donaldson are the epitome of the male manipulator on different sides of the spectrum, with Patrick taking a bolder approach and kind of being honest with the fact that he's terrible, while Art is taking the nice guy approach, and Tashi Duncan is playing them both like a fiddle. Hey guys, it's Sydney, and today we will be talking about Challengers, specifically Tashi Duncan. The movie is directed by Luca Guadagnino, who also directed Call Me By Your Name, which I have a video on. Cough, cough, wink, wink. Throughout the movie, Tashi fluctuates in age from being 18 to 31 years old. She goes from being the most promising tennis star in her teens to being a tennis coach for her husband in her 30s. Her two lovers, Art Donaldson, who's portrayed by Mike Fast, and Patrick Zwig, who is played by Josh O'Connor, are the same age as her throughout the movie. She's the only one that could really fluctuate in age. When she was supposed to be 18, she really did look like she was 18 from her darker hair color and her blush cheeks and her bolder colors and wardrobe. Like, you can really tell that she's youthful in that moment and she's ready to dominate the world, especially in contrast to the two men who look 30. They look 30 in every scene. I believe the men are supposed to look older than her on purpose, especially with Patrick, because he's supposed to be an early bloomer according to Art. But enough about that, let's get into the plot summary. Actually, before I even get into the plot summary, I want to let y'all know that my throat is hurting like really bad, and I feel like I'm coming up on with the cold. So if it sounds like that in my voice, I'm really sorry. It was either this or I'm blowing up youtube.com. So sorry. The movie begins with the final match of New Rochelle's Phil Town's Challenger with competitors Patrick Zwig and Art Donaldson. While the two players are in a rally, the camera zooms in on Tashi Donaldson, who was later revealed as Art's wife. The audience is swiftly taken out of the match to 2 weeks before, where Art has a match with a significantly younger tennis player, and he gets dominated. Even before the match, the audience can feel the tension between Tashi and Art. Art has achieved almost every great achievement in tennis except for the US Open, so he's this close to getting a career slam, and Tashi's trying to push him to that, but Art's like, Grandpa is tired and he wants to retire, but he doesn't for Tashi's sake. But because he keeps losing and losing and losing, Tashi's like, I'm gonna have to pull you out of the US Open if you don't win this challenger in New Rochelle. The film constantly switches between 13 years ago, 3 years ago, or even days ago. During these flashbacks, we learned that the opponents, Patrick and Art, used to be best of friends. They had been bunkmates at boarding school since they were 12 years old. Patrick was clearly the player of the two, or at least he thinks he is, because Patrick and Art are both getting played by Tashi. The three first meet when they're 18 years old at the Junior US Open. After the boys win their double match, they go see Tashi play, and they are in love with her at first sight. They go to her Adidas party, and they are so thirsty. Like, Patrick is the worst. I physically feel myself being pulled out of my body because of the embarrassment I feel. Get out of her face, you weirdo. They invite Tashi back to her hotel room, and at first she's like, I'll see if I go. And then when she pulls up, they're like, whoa, they're scattering. And she turns them out. She starts like a triple kiss, and it starts with a triple kiss, and then she backs up, and they're just kissing each other. She's like, oh yeah, y'all are in love. This movie may be the first real love triangle we have seen in decades, okay? Right before she leaves, she tells the boys whoever wins their final match tomorrow gets to get her number. Patrick ends up winning and they start dating seriously, but Tashi and Art are both going to Stanford in the fall, so we'll see how that plans out. So Art is shiesty and he's messy, okay?
He's not in love with you.
What makes you think I want someone to be in love with me?
Art plants this seed in Tashi's mind that Patrick isn't in love with her and isn't devoted to her, and while he's on tour he's doing weird stuff But he's not really. He's actually being pretty loyal to Tashi. So Patrick comes to Stanford to go see Tashi at a match. And right before they see each other at a match, they get into this big argument. And Tashi's kind of like trying to make Patrick like jealous and fired up. And she's like, well, Art is better than you. Art has this, Art has that, Art has devotion. You're just coasting on talent. She's just talking mad stuff to him. And Patrick's like, I'm not about to sit here and let you talk to me like that. And he says, they both say some really harsh things to each other. And then Tashi goes to the match and she gets injured. And it's a career-ending injury. Like, she cannot play tennis anymore after that. And you know who picks up all the pieces after? Art.
I'm sorry.
Out.
Get
out!
Tashi!
Out!
Tashi, listen!
Out!
Please!
Out!
Patrick, get the f*** out!
Art is the one that's trying to help her recover, trying to help her get back to what she was before. And where's Patrick? Shooed away. He's gone. Around 3 years later, Tashi starts coaching Art and they start dating. And Patrick is flopping as a tennis player. I mean, he's terrible. But they see each other at the Atlanta Open. Ooh. And Tashi ends up cheating on Art with Patrick. Tashi also sleeps with Patrick right before the New Rochelle match so he could get him to throw the match. Tashi puts an ultimatum from Art. She's like, either win the match or I'm leaving you. After Art tells her that he wants to retire even if he doesn't win the US Open. Because I'm like, he's 31 years old. He's been playing tennis for like his entire life. He wants to do something different with his life. He wants to just run the foundation that they founded. Like why is that so bad? Like, he just wants to be there for his daughter. Why is that so bad? Why do you, like, Tashi hates Art. Like, she hates him so much. But at the end of the movie, like, it is so intense with Patrick signaling to Art that him and Tashi slept together. Art starts tweaking out. Everybody starts tweaking. And they're going boom, 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 boom. It's a rally. They going at it. And Art ends up winning the challenger. And Tashi is lit. Okay. And that's how the movie ends. Tashi Duncan is very intelligent and she shows it, even to the guys. But they still underestimate her. To them, she's just a smart, exceptional tennis player. But once she loses tennis, the game for affection becomes her favorite sport. When Tashi first meets the boys, they are eager to get to know her. Patrick is falling over his words, trying to find the right phrase to make Tashi stay, and Art is kind of getting lost in the conversation. But you could tell that Tashi is more interested in Art than in Patrick. She could tell that Art is the more sensible one and the more practical choice. So she encourages them to win the match, and whoever wins the match gets her number. Unfortunately, Patrick is the one that gets her number because Patrick has that fire in him that Art just does not have. Tashi doesn't really care about the welfare of either of the men. She leverages her marriage over a match the same way she did when they were kids.
Tell me it doesn't matter if I win tomorrow.
No.
She uses the same manipulation tactics on Art over and over again, and he pretends he doesn't know because he is madly in love with her. He says that multiple times. He's like, who wouldn't be in love with you? For the last 13 years, he has been in love with her, and he would do anything for her and anything to keep her in his life. So he lets her manipulate him.
Lapdog who's gonna sit around and let you punish me. I'm not Art. Well, maybe you need someone like that. Someone who's gonna hop on board and be Mr. Tashi Duncan.
Is that what you think I want?
Yeah. A member of the fan club.
But she doesn't love him. She doesn't love the life that she's living. She loves her daughter, but like that's pretty much it. Like she would much rather be playing tennis. Childless, manless, living her life like it's golden, you know. Art just happened to be there and happened to be the greatest pawn from her. Art knows that. So he knows without tennis, him and Tashi are nothing. That's all they talk about, tennis. And so Tashi makes it known that if he does not win this match, she will leave him, which is why she sleeps with Patrick to set the match up, because she doesn't want to leave him. She doesn't want Art to lose his confidence. She wants him to be the person that gets the career slam for them both. So when she cheats on Art a second time and she comes back to their hotel and Art is laying with their daughter, she remembers why she did it, to keep her family intact, because she cannot stay with a loser. She cannot let her legacy be tarnished by a man who was this close to getting a career slam but let his confidence waver. So she pulls the men's strings like puppets and They let her. Art and Patrick both know that they're being manipulated by Tashi to some extent, but they are both so in love with her, they just let it happen. It is very similar to having a strict and domineering parent that only shows you affection when they see perfection. The men are aware that what's happening is not normal and they could get better treatment from elsewhere. They choose to stay close to Tashi because her praise is the best praise because she is the best.
As I was editing this, I realized that I'm kind of describing an abusive relationship. I was not thinking that when I wrote the script. So if I sound a little off, that's why, because editing Sydney has some clarification, okay? I would also like to say that Tashi makes the guys think they have autonomy in a relationship and that they think they're making their own choices when it's really her, like, just pushing them to do the stuff that she wants them to do, which is very much crazy. So she tricked me also.
So I think I will end it there. This entire video, I was thinking of this edit idea for the editors out there. I may have to pull out my rusty tools. You know that the trend where they're like, oh yes, they both reach for the gun. That's one from Chicago. I was like, this is literally them. Like, they both reached for Tashi, but Tashi is also the puppet master. I need to rewatch Chicago, y'all. I want to make a video on Chicago. I really do. Anyways, I think I will end it here, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Letterboxd, both Blinded Sydney, and I will see y'all in the next one. Wait, before that happens, do y'all like this lighting setup? I tried something new. I have like a new lamp that I got for college. And I just wanted to try it out before I get to college. I move in like 2 weeks. So this is probably what the setup is going to be. It's going to be our ring light and my lamp at like a little desk. Of course, my room's going to be looking different. Very different. So we will see. Thank you guys so much for watching again. I guess I'll see y'all next time. Bye, guys.